Itong gaming phone brand just gets better and better each time. This time around, itong REDMAGIC 11 Air mas gumaan compared sa kanang REDMAGIC 10 Pro, but still packs a lot of ammo under its hood. So gaano kaganda nga ba ka ng performance this time around? Nag-improve nga ba ka ng camera? Alamin natin and pag-usapan natin in this video. Now for the main course, unboxan muna natin si REDMAGIC 11 Air. Medyo maganda ka ng box very simple. REDMAGIC na logo and Air ang mababasa mo pag tiniklo mo siya. Ayan, kita mo? Air. Kala mo Air Jordan, no? Meron siyang Snapdragon Elite Gaming na logo dito. Sige, buksan na natin. REDMAGIC. Meron tayong SIM ejector tool. Meron tayong case. Uy, maganda ka ng case ha. Frosted siya and mukhang matibay ha. Kung ako tatanungin mo. Andito yung phone. For the unboxing, meron kang C2C cable na red and a color black na Type-C na 80 watts na fast charging brick. Hindi ka tinipid ni REDMAGIC. So, pilasin na natin. Yun, no? Guys, medyo hawig pa rin siya sa mga REDMAGIC na 10 Pro except wala siyang yung bilog dito sa gitna. Yung kanyang liquid cooling, no? Kasi medyo ginampak niya, pinakompact na itong phone na ito. And it shows to kasi it's way lighter than ni REDMAGIC 10 Pro. This is a global launching. Hindi ko pa alam kung magkano malalabas sa Pilipinas. Pero if you directly convert it, it's 29,500 pesos without shipping and without taxes pa to the Philippines. So abangan niyo ang link na ilalagay natin sa description box below para malaman niyo kung magkano official price once it landed here in the Philippines. Lalagay ko na rin yung link once na nagkaroon dyan sa YouTube shopping link natin para pwede kayo directly mag-check out. Huwag na kayo paligoy-ligoy guys kasi ang daming scammers ngayon. Grabe, sobra. Just a quick trivia guys though. Did you know na si REDMAGIC is the only gaming phone brand na naiwan na right now? Recently, si Asus ROG just announced that they would discontinue making their ROG phone line. So, meaning siya na lang ang naiwan, last man standing pagdating sa gaming phones. Si Poco is not considered a gaming phone and si Honor is not considered a gaming phone brand kasi si REDMAGIC is purely gaming phones lang ginagawa. Now, pagdating sa design, I like it. Sobrang gaan niya this time around and it feels so light pagdating sa gaming sessions. By the way guys, meron siya dalawang color na nilabas. This one is the color Phantom and meron siya bang color white, tawag nga is Prism. Now, pagdating sa kanyang camera module, nag-maintain lang naman siya compared sa mga ibang predecessor niya. One thing na nagbago din sa kanya is hindi mo nakita yung mga Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite na chip dito sa loob. It's more simple this time around. Though na-preserve pa rin niya yung pagka-transparent back niya, pero medyo nabawasan lang pagka-transparency niya. Maintain color red pa rin ang kanyang game button. Andito yung dalawang air triggers niya, and andito ang kanyang cooling fan. Now, pagdating sa materials, ang likod nito is a Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Ang side niya is a side aluminum frames. And ang harap niya is a Corning Gorilla Glass 7i. So, pretty much protected ang yung phone. IP54 and water resistant. Well, it can withstand yung mga wisik ng tubig pag ulan, pero don't try to dunk this phone inside the water. One thing that I still like, preserve pa rin ang kanyang under-display na front-facing camera. Alamin natin kung nag-improve kanyang camera shots later. And overall feel factor, I like it. I give it a 9 out of 10. And it's running inside Android version 16. One thing na gusto ko pa rin sa kanya is kahit maliit siya, i-preserve pa rin. Pwede mo i-control yung kanyang cooling fan dito sa likod. So once na nag-trigger, makita mo may lalabas na color red ang kanyang ring dito. It means naka-on and active yung cooling fan. Now yung light strip na dito sa likod, pwede mo i-calibrate ang kanyang color. Pero yung kanyang cooling fan, hindi mo siya pwede palitan. Basically, you have red, you have pink, you have orange, yellow, green, blue, light blue. Meron din siyang dark blue, and meron pa siyang purple, di ba? So, anong colors na tipuhan ninyo? Let me know in the comments. Pagdating naman sa multitasking, walang problema to phone na ito. It's more than powerful enough for everyday task. Kaya mag-edit ka ng video dito, no problem. CapCut and doing Gemini AI and ChatGPT, lahat kayang i-handle nitong phone na ito. In fact, this one is being powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite. Sobrang lakas din naman tong chip na ito. And together with it, meron siyang Red Core R4 na gaming chip, further enhancing and strengthening yung gaming experience mo dito on this smartphone. Malalaman natin later pagdating sa gaming. So ano nga ginagawa nitong Red Core R4 na dedicated na gaming chip inside this phone? So basically, ina-unlock na yung mga advanced na gaming option, better frame rates and stability, giving you smoother, high-quality na gameplay under demanding condition. Na nosebleed ka sa sinabi ko, no? In short, mas maganda ay yung gaming experience dito. Tapos ang usapan. So I did run Antutu benchmark version 11 and I was able to squeak out a 3.4 million score dito sa Antutu benchmark, which is pretty solid, di ba? Eh kung gusto mo makita mga ibang benchmark na ginawa ko, eto, pakita ko sa inyo. Now, in terms of battery, hindi maliit ang battery nito. Despite it being light at 207 grams, this phone has a 7,000 mAh na battery inside its hood. Grabe, malaki yung 7,000 na, hindi biro yun. And best of all, it supports 80 watts na fast charging. So meaning, charging from 0 to 100 takes you a little bit less than an hour to finish. So it's quite fast kasi malaki yung capacity. Now, kamusta naman aking daily usage? Well, honestly, one full day walang problema. Kaya naman na magtagal as long as wala kang babad na gaming na ginagawa dito sa phone na ito. Despite it being gaming phone, yes, I know. Pero kung hindi ka naman babad and using it as a regular phone, I would say na kaya-kaya naman i-handle one whole day. In fact, halos 9.5 hours ang binigay sa akin na screen on time dito kay PC Mark na battery stress test. Na kung gusto mo makita buong spec sheet nito phone na ito and tinatamad na akong basahin sa inyo, hindi ako katulad ng mga ibang tech reviewer na masipag mo basa ng spec sheet, ito, basahin nyo na lang, post nyo na lang. Now, pagdating sa display, still one of my favorite kasi wala siyang punch hole. 6.85-inch na OLED display with a 144Hz refresh rate. Meron siyang 960 na continuous touch sampling rate and 2,500Hz na instantaneous touch sampling rate. Maximum brightness, 1,800 nits. Nung ginagamit ko naman itong phone na ito for social media, wala akong naging problema sa kanya dahil, well, honestly, sobrang okay na maganda display. Well, under direct sunlight, wala rin naman naging problema sa kanya. It's pretty solid din naman. And pa nasi-scroll naman ng social media dito, okay, maganda aking experience, wala akong naging problema. Pag maganda naman yung internet connection, mabilis mag-load mga videos, you shouldn't have any problem on this phone. Now, kamusta naman kung manood ka ng mga videos dito, like mga K-pop, K-drama, basketball games, expect to give you a good immersive experience dahil sa kanyang display. I love the display, honestly. Especially getting rid of that punch hole. It's a game changer para sa akin personally. Those simple little things that bothers me, inayos ni REDMAGIC. Kasi hindi talaga ako mahilig sa mga punch hole and sa mga teardrop notch and yung mga dynamic island na yon. Tapos pagdating naman sa audio, meron siya dual high performance na audio na speaker dito sa ibabaw at saka sa ilalim. And it can deliver rich, crystal clear audio for gaming or watching videos. Testing natin kung totoo nga ba sinasabi ni REDMAGIC. Now, I know I'm not cute anymore, pero ito phone na ito is definitely cute at its form factor. And yung sound tripping dito on this one is quite good. Hindi naman siya sobrang lakas, pero it gives you that good immersive sound experience. Now guys, ito na siguro pinakinaantay ninyo. Gaming performance on this phone. I was able to play 6 titles dito on this phone. Nani? Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Honor of Kings, Fahrenheit 84, Call of Duty Mobile, and isang bagong game, Where Winds Meet. Medyo bago pa to. So simulan muna natin gaming with yung mga non-AAA games. Pagdating sa Honor of Kings, it was really a good experience. I was able to achieve 120 FPS. It was really smooth. And well, pag tinitingnan ko naman sa kanya FPS counter, nag-hover siya around 117 to 121. And the gameplay was really smooth. Wala akong na-feel na frame drops kanya and was really consistent. Gamitin mo man yung air triggers niya or hindi, parehong very immersive ang experience. And hindi siya sobrang init, umabot lang siya just 41 degrees Celsius after an hour of gameplay. Pagdating sa Call of Duty Mobile, I was also able to achieve 120 FPS consistently. And the game was pretty solid. Actually, naglaro ko na halos 2 oras dito non-stop, just enjoying playing this game. Lalo na together with the shoulder triggers. Sobrang happy ako dito sa kanya na may shoulder triggers. And very responsive naman kanyang 520Hz na shoulder triggers. Actually, sabihin ko sa inyo na parang advantage sa akin yun na meron ako shoulder triggers para meron ako R1, L1 na wala ng ibang kalaban ko. Now, the gameplay was really immersive and wala ka talaga mafe-feel na frame drops dito dahil Snapdragon 8 Elite got you covered. Together, meron pa siyang dedicated na gaming chip dito sa kanya. So, expect to give you a really good and smooth experience and pinakamainit ay inabot ko just 38 degrees Celsius. By the way guys, yung mga non-graphical intense games like PUBG, League of Legends, kayang-kaya niya umabot ng 144 Hz. Now moving on, Farlight 84, I was able to gather 90 FPS and halos quite consistent naman siya. Medyo maganda naman gameplay ko dito sa kanya. Didn't have any problem din dito sa kanya. Overall, yung kanyang graphics was really good. And halos wala ako na feel na frame drops din dito sa kanya. Though it's a little bit hot at 44 degrees Celsius after an hour of gameplay. Then moving on to Genshin Impact, umabot lang just 60 FPS. Was hoping na medyo ma-unlock natin yung mga higher frame rates dito sa Genshin Impact. Hopefully ma-update nila para ma-unlock na ni 120. And the gameplay is okay. Wala akong naging problema din dito sa kanya. Very consistent siya, no? Naglalaro siya between 58 to 62 FPS dito sa Genshin Impact. Lalo pa ng heavy battles ka na, no? Well, very consistent pa rin siya. One surprising thing dito sa kanya is hindi siya sobrang init at just 42 degrees Celsius. And pagdating sa Wuthering Waves, ito yung game na pinakamainit na inabot ko on this phone. And I was able to achieve 60 FPS. Though pagdating sa heavy battle, pansin ko, nagda-drop siya to pinaka-lowest niya, 44 FPS. Pero yung gameplay niya was good and mafe-feel mo they're just minor frame drops along the way. Hindi mo mafe-feel masyado siguro kung hindi mo siya masyadong tinitigan. Pero kung nag-heavy battle ka na, doon mafe-feel mo slight frame drops, no? Overall, the sound was good, the touch response was good, and pinakamainit na inabot ko, like I told you, siya pinakamainit at 47 degrees Celsius. And finally, nakapaglaro tayo ng bagong game, Where Winds Meet. Medyo naninibago pa ako dito sa kanya, though I like yung kanyang graphics, ha. It was really nice. Sinagad ko rin naman sa Ultra yung kanyang graphics dito, and surprisingly, was quite solid. Yung nga lang, ang pinakasagad na kaya ng FPS is just around 44 to 45, which is quite similar lang sa heavy battles ni Wuthering Waves. Though pag nag-adventure ka there, tayo nakikita ko mamo siya na 60 FPS. The gameplay was good. I'm still trying to get a hang of it. Pero one thing na gusto ko sa kanya is yung kanyang graphics talaga. It was really smooth. I love it. Hopefully to feature this game again on another gaming level phone pretty soon. And medyo mainit din siya. Umabot siya ng 44 degrees Celsius. Now, quickly, pag-usapan natin yung kanang camera. Check din natin kung nag-improve nga ba siya o hindi, kanang front-facing camera. Ang likod niya, meron siya 50MP na main camera sensor together with a 8MP na ultra-wide lens. And yung kanang harap is a 16MP na front-facing camera na under display. The rear camera can shoot you up to 4K and 30. Yung harap, 1080p and 30fps lamang. Now, pagdating sa outdoors, yung mga greens, wala kang maging problema sa kanya. In fact, medyo saturated siya, I would admit. Pero yung kanyang saturation is tama lang, no? Hindi naman siya sobrang OA na nakakainis. Pero yung kanyang pagka-saturate sa kanyang green is just okay and quite refreshing naman sa aking mata. There are times na medyo hindi masyado color accurate pagdating sa mga ilang halaman na nakuha ko, no? But overall, it still is not bad for a gaming phone. Na pagdating sa indoor, pansin ko, there are some shots na nakuha ko dito na medyo parang overexposed. Kailangan mo ibaba ko din ka na exposure to get it a little bit better. Pero kung direct point and shoot, there are times na medyo nag-overexpose siya. But overall, some of these photos na nakuha natin are quite good and solid. Lalo na sa low light, kaya naman na mag-perform, wala kang maging problema sa kanya. And pagdating sa mga outdoors, sa mga ulap, makita mo still clear, mga blue sky, wala kang maging problema sa kanya. Kaya yung mga signages like this one, very clear naman, no? Okay naman siya when it comes to outdoor. Kahit itong caricature na ito, looks quite good din naman kanyang color. Medyo rusty bronze ang kanyang datingan, which is halos color accurate naman siya. Now, I did try to play along with yung kanyang ultra-wide lens. This is how it looks like. And zooming it all the way, papuntang 10 times zoom. Honestly, kanyang 10 times zoom is a little bit blurred kahit digitally zoom na siya. Pero kanyang 4 times is still decent. Now, further taking mga indoor low light shots inside the mall, you'll be able to get some really nice snap dito sa kanya. I was quite happy naman sa kanyang performance, so lang naging problema. Kahit yung mga apparel shot like this one is quite good. And you'll see details once you zoom it in kung ano fabric ang gamit niya. And a quick food sandwich photography is just okay. Nothing really special. And I'm happy to tell you na nag-improve ang kanyang front-facing camera. That I can be proud of. Photos lang Pagdating sa front-facing camera on outdoors, medyo nag-improve siya slightly, pansin ko, dahil this shot was quite okay para sa akin Though it's a little bit hazy kunti, pero I would say that it's more acceptable compared to sa REDMAGIC 10 Pro. Well, at the very least. Sa outdoor, can capture some good shots. And surprisingly, sa indoor, it can also capture some good shots. No? Depende sa yung lighting. I was quite surprised with these two shots. It was quite good. But there are other shots na nakuha ko na medyo low light and medyo nasasuffer na siya ng konti. Ito naman tingnan natin pagdating sa video. And ito ang front-facing camera ng REDMAGIC 11 Air. Still the same. Hindi masyadong nagbago. Still medyo blurry, hazy kasi dahil sa under-display camera. Hopefully, ito yung improvein nila moving on. And here's a sample video from the rear camera. Pero sa kanyang rear camera, I would say na kasing ganda ng 11 Pro. Quality is better compared sa front. And shooting at 4K and 30 FPS, camera can pretty much be a good vlogging camera for a gaming phone. Now guys, nakita na natin yung performance ng REDMAGIC 11 Air. I was quite blown away with this phone. Sobrang ganda na kanyang performance. Sobrang nice na kanyang form factor. And yung kanyang init pagdating sa gaming, hindi lumagpas ng 47 degrees Celsius, which is good. And another good thing na gusto ko sabihin sa inyo is ang bilis mag-dissipate ang init nito dahil maganda ka na vapor chamber dito sa likod. Plus, nag-improve ang kanyang front-facing camera, which is, palakpakan natin si REDMAGIC, no, finally did it. Pero pagdating sa video, the front-facing camera is still pretty bad. Pero selfie, kaya na. Nag-i-improve na talaga siya. Step by step, umaabot na siya dun sa desired na photo ko pagdating sa front-facing camera, at the very least. So guys, kung nag-abang ka ng gaming phone, I would say this is probably one of the phones na dapat mo abangan for this 2026. Kung ayaw mo yung bigat ng mga flagship series nila, this is definitely one that you should wait for, ang REDMAGIC 11 Air. Now guys, i-update ko kayo kung kailan lalabas to locally. I'll post the link on the description box below or just simply clicking YouTube shopping link natin once na nagkaroon ng update here in the Philippines. Kayo una mo na notify. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell para ma-notify kayo once na nag-update tayo dito on this phone, si REDMAGIC 11 Air. So paano yan? Hanggang dito muna ako. I'll see you on my next video. Peace out. And so, ako para si Richmond and you're watching Gadget Sidekick. Like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. For one of my latest uploads, click dito. And for one of my popular uploads, click here.